When you've been working as a dating coach for over 10 years, you begin to see a number of patterns in the way that men think about women, dating, relationships, sex, and casual sex relationships. Sometimes what you see is you see good common knowledge coming through. Often what you see is really bad common knowledge coming through. Sometimes it's really unhealthy belief systems. And sometimes, just sometimes, what you see is a complete chapter missing, a whole piece of information about casual sex relationships that no one ever taught guys at any point in their lives. You see, when it comes to one-night stands and casual sex relationships, most men have a mindset that, look, it not only makes it way harder to actually get women interested in casual sex relationships, it actually absolutely destroys your experience as well. You see, it's so common that I speak to men and they'll tell me, I picked up this girl, I took her home, and it just wasn't all that. It was like we just had sex and that was exciting, but And that's a really common experience. Another really common experience is guys telling me that every time they pick up a girl and have sex with her, afterwards they end up just wanting to get away from her. Like they can't wait to get away from her because it's just annoying to keep hanging around. Now, this isn't, I don't believe, in fact, I know this isn't a sign that guys are just being misogynistic. That's what a lot of women want to think. It's not. It's actually to do with their mindset around sex and casual sex relationships that causes them to feel this way. It actually robs them of all the best parts of casual sex relationships. So getting laid for many men often becomes either an endless series of women who don't want to have sex with you at all, or if you're lucky, it becomes an endless series of constantly chasing women to have sex with, and the experiences never live up to your expectations. So you're constantly chasing an expectation that's never there. Luckily for men, there is a mindset that not only makes it better, makes it far easier to attract women into a casual sex relationship, but will make the experiences far more rewarding, far more enjoyable. To find out what that is, keep watching. There's this belief system about men that society perpetuates, men perpetuate, and women perpetuate. And this belief system is that when it comes to sex, men just want sexual release. That's what we're after. That's what we're hunting for, like pack animals. And it's kind of true, but it's self-perpetuating and it's not actually true. So what do I mean? Well, we're taught this as children, as young teens, I suppose. We're taught that for us, it's about sexual release. And that's what you got to hunt, and that's what you got to search for constantly. It's all about sexual release, getting the orgasm, yeah, and orgasming in a woman, yeah. And you know what? Sexual release is great. Orgasm is incredible, and having sex is fantastic. But we're never educated that there is more to it, that there can be more to it, that there's actually two parts to a sexual experience, and we're only taught as men to search for the one part, and that is the sexual release. Most guys who decide they want to spend some time being single, whether it's when they're young and they want to enjoy the younger years, or they've come out of a divorce or a long relationship, or they're just older guys who realize they didn't live that younger self and they really want to go through that. What happens is we get focused entirely on sex, and I don't blame men, that's quite a strong drive for us, but we become hyper-focused on it. And what quickly happens is that we get this mindset where we feel like we have to endure approaching all these women just to get laid. We have to endure all these rejections just to get laid. We have to endure all these conversations, and we have to go through the ropes and go through this process every time just to get laid. And we have to tell jokes just to get laid, and we have to go on these dates just to get laid. All these things just because we want to have sex. And what happens is that it robs all the fun out of approaching women. It robs all the fun out of the pickup process and makes it all about sex. Let me give you an example from my own life, and I think this will kind of highlight what I'm getting at here. When I was 21 years old, I first got involved. I'm 35 now. But when I was 21, I first got involved in the pickup community. And I was just focused on sex, on getting laid. I just want to get laid as often as possible. And I fell into this pattern where I found that I was meeting women and I was trying to get laid, and I would, now and again, I was getting some decent success, I would go out and I'd talk to women, and I'd sometimes get them home, and sometimes they'd resist at the last minute, like, I don't know if I want to do this. And, you get numbers and you try to get them out on a date and try to escalate in the date. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. And it was very frustrating, but it was like, I was investing a huge amount of time just to get laid. And when I did get laid, I had the same experience. I was like, it's fun to get laid, but it was kind of like, I'd go home and I'd be like, yeah, I got laid, but, it was just this feeling. I wasn't feeling satisfied. And so I had to sleep with more and more and more and more women to try to feel satisfied. And it wasn't really scratching the itch that needed to be scratched. And I couldn't work it out. And then I started getting involved in men's work and men's self-development. And I guess I went through a lot of self-discovery in this time. And one of the things that I discovered was that I wasn't just craving sex. I was craving intimacy. I was craving being touched and being liked, intimately liked by a woman, and feeling like I had value to women other than just a guy they could have sex with. And, I wanted to feel these things, I realized. And so what I started doing is I started focusing on really, one of the challenges I was given by my men's group was to focus on really enjoying the process of flirting, really enjoying the process of getting to know women. And one of my challenges was to stop talking to women I didn't genuinely like. In fact, I was challenged for a month to not sleep with any women I wouldn't be willing to get into a relationship with. Even though I didn't want a relationship, I wasn't allowed to sleep with any woman I wouldn't be willing to get into a relationship with. And so I started approaching women with a mindset of, do I like you? Not, can I have sex with you? Do I like you? And I started from that point. Is it enjoyable to talk to you? Is it enjoyable to pick you up? Is it enjoyable to flirt with you? And if the answer was no, I'd walk away and I'd find someone else. And all of a sudden, I really started enjoying flirting with women. Like, I enjoyed bantering and laughing and teasing and joking and building rapport and really connecting with people and having these really amazing, intimate, non-sexual intimate moments was in itself incredible. And it was really amazing because from there, all of a sudden, women were far more willing to have sex with me. They wanted, I just didn't get any of this kind of last minute resistance, pulling out at the last second, not being sure if they wanted to, awkward moments where I tried to escalate and they felt really weird about it. I just wasn't getting those moments anymore. The reason was I was giving women what they wanted from the sexual experience. And so what do women want? Well, the thing is that what I discovered is that for women, sex is not about sex. Sex isn't the end point for women. For women, they want an intimate connection with someone, like to feel emotionally validated, connected with, liked, touched, appreciated as a woman. Then the sex is the way to amplify that experience. What I learned was that for men, it's the other way around. For us, sex is the primary experience we're after. But the emotional connection, the touch, being appreciated as a man and of really appreciating the woman, all these things are ways to enhance the sexual experience. Because what happened for me was that I was giving women what they wanted by focusing on the emotional, intimate stuff. And in return, what was happening is the sexual experiences that I was having was, oh my God, it was off the chain. All of a sudden, because I really liked these women, like genuinely liked them, the sex was so much more exciting. It just scratched that itch that I wasn't really getting scratched before when I was just focusing on trying to get laid. Because the women were really involved. Because they were getting what they wanted. They were so excited about the intimacy, about the sex. And so I was enjoying the sex more. And even more than that, women were. So all of a sudden, women were constantly bragging to me and friends about how great their experience with me was. And it wasn't that I was doing anything different physically. It wasn't like I was doing some super move or some amazing cunnilingus tactic. None of that. All I was doing was appreciating them and making sure that I was only with women that I really liked and appreciated. And it just, wow. Casual sex became deeply satisfying. It gave me everything I want. I was giving women what they wanted. And that seemed to be big because I found that I no longer had exes or women I'd slept with who had any negative feelings about our time together because they felt like they were nourished by the experience. And so that somehow felt really good. That was good for my ego. But it was also great that everyone I was with was an incredible experience to me. It no longer felt dirty. It no longer felt wrong. It always felt right. It always felt like a very positive experience for me. And you know, this is what men are missing out on. This is the big piece of the pie that most of you watching, no one's ever told you this, right? No one's ever told you that, first of all, give women what they want and they'll give you what you want. That is, give them the intimacy. Think about it this way. Be a boyfriend for a night, right? I don't mean a nice guy pushover. I don't mean, I'm going to do all these chores for you, honey, and then you'll get laid. No, what I mean is be intimately connected. Like, focus on actually liking and appreciating her, and you're far more likely to get laid. So do that. But really, for you, for your own well-being, forget about women, okay? The way to have really amazing sex is to only have sex with women you really like and appreciate. So from now on, when you're out picking up women, focus only on women you like. Find things about them that you really enjoy. Because if you're just trying to sleep with women you don't really like them, the sex is always going to be mediocre. It's going to be mediocre for you. It's going to be mediocre for them. And you're always going to find yourself in a circle trying to chase this experience you're never, ever going to have. So that's the key to enjoying sex and being an amazing lover. So what do you guys think? Have you ever experienced this kind of connection before just in a casual sex relationship? Because it's incredible if you never have. I've got an entire guide. I've got an ultimate guide to seduction, which is a free guide you can start reading right now. It's an online resource. Click on the link up here or in the link below. Literally, I'm going to go through step by step every part of the pickup and attraction process, the sincere seduction process. So it's not about just finding a wet hole to have sex with. What it's about is it's about developing yourself as a man, becoming the kind of man that's going to attract women. I'm going to show you how to do that step by step. Then I'm going to show you exactly how to approach women in a way that doesn't require you to lie or play games or manipulate women to get what you want. Because honestly, I believe pickup can be a win-win situation. Life is better for you and life is better for women when you do it the right way. So go ahead and download that link right now. Click on it. You can download the resource up there or down below. What do you guys think? Have you had this experience? Let me know, because it absolutely changed my life. And no one ever tells men that there's more to sex than just the release. And I think this is missing from men's dating education right now. Let me know in the comments below. If you've liked this video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and give me a thumbs up. I look forward to seeing you guys in my future videos. Have a fantastic week.